And we have suddenly a lot to talk about. I know it's early information from early exit polls. I know. But I'll tell you what, Don Luskin, I want to get your take on this. I want to go round robin on this. What we seem to know so far is A, Hillary big win is out. B, it's real close. C, Obama might win. And therefore, I conclude, D, if Obama might win or if it's close, that is it for Hillary. Don Luskin, under those options, unless you have some others to complicate life, is this bullish or bearish for stocks?
I think it's bearish only in the sense that we need, when I say we, I mean the forces of growth, we need Obama and Clinton as long as possible to stay in this deathlock against each other, biting each other's ankles, dragging each other down, calling each other's names, creating things that whoever wins, we want to quote the loser on what he or she said about the winner when we get into the general elections. We want to keep this bitter fight going as long as possible. But look, it's going to keep going, because even if Hillary wins, she's never going to win enough delegates to change the balance. We know for sure we're going to go into the nominating convention within the margin of the superdelegates. So this thing isn't going to be over one way or another today. So we got lots of nice mudslinging to look forward to.
So are you buying and selling tomorrow morning?
I'm buying tomorrow morning, but look, I'm bullish anyway. It doesn't have anything to do with today's election.
All right.
But the problem is we are in a recession that is really biting hard for a lot of middle-class people in central and western Pennsylvania.
Jared, we are not in a recession yet. Maybe it's coming, but we are not in a recession.
You ought to look at the Pennsylvania unemployment rates.
Don Luskin, are we in a 1930s type recession, as Jared Bernstein has suggested?
I said nothing about 1930s.
That's pretty much Jared's card.
This is just a joke.
No,
this is just a joke. Anybody who thinks that we're in a recession right now has never been in a recession. This is simply a joke. It's a political year where all the candidates are saying we're in a recession, so you'll vote for them, so they'll save you from it.
You don't respect the common man in Pennsylvania. 4 out of 10 said we were.
Quentin, hold on, fellas. Time out. Let Don Luskin weigh in. Jared has put the deep recession scenario on the table.
I never said deep.
I want Don Luskin to respond.
I never said deep.
No.
Yeah, right. You know, when every time you say recession, your voice just drips with doom. I know what you really mean. I know it's depression that you're talking about.
Does recession
and
mean
look, I want to go back to that other debate, because this is really what frames this. You know, we can say that McCain has a temper and that the American public may not like that, but how do you think the American public is going to like it when they learn more and more about Barack Obama, who every Sunday sits in a church with an America-hating preacher who consorts with American terrorists and who feeds the worst fears in this country by doing what you do, Jared, which is by saying we're in a terrible recession and we need a Democrat to get us out of it. Those are all just lies designed to scare people into voting, not to appeal to their minds, but to appeal to their basest instincts.
Don Luskin, real quick, you heard Quentin's riposte against Bush's tax cuts. Do you have a thought on the way out?
Look, we've got to take the opportunity to keep taxes low. Spending is a separate matter. We've got to have low taxes and we've got to have low spending. If we can only have one or the other, fine, I'll take half a loaf.
Meaning low tax rates. Meaning low tax rates.
Yeah, that's the McCain plan, and there goes the blow. That's how you blow the hole in the budget. You cut taxes.
Don't forget, Jared, we had $745 billion additional revenues after the tax.
We're going to come back. Don Luskin, let me go to you. I know you're in touch frequently with the Obama campaign. I want to ask you a dollar peso currency question. I mean, consider this for a second. Paul Volcker has endorsed Obama. Big surprise. Volcker said at the New York Economics Club a couple of weeks ago, the dollar is in a crisis. What if, Don, what if Obama takes Volcker's advice to appreciate and defend the dollar kind of as a populist move to help those small-town people with some economic hardships? Now,
you know,
what do you think about that option?
That would really be
that's a red, you know, no one's thought about that. What if Obama gets to the dollar first, Don?
You know, that's a great idea. The problem is it involves a 180-degree turn from what he's doing. You know, he's appealing to a union, labor constituency that thinks that the problem is that the dollar is too strong, not that it's too weak. So he's supports this idea of bullying China into appreciating the yuan to make China less competitive with the laborers who work for his union masters. So he's hardly going to be able to do an about-face now and all of a sudden decide we need a strong dollar. You know, he's going to have to live with the consequences of his wishes being carried out by a Republican administration.
Yeah, but
well, you just have to frame the country.
But wait a second, guys. You're missing the point. How is a Democratic, union-driven candidate going to say, I want a stronger dollar, when his competitors are going to turn around and say, oh, my God, you're taking export-driven jobs away from union members? How do you get around that?
What would happen is Wall Street is very skeptical about Senator Obama because of his tax policies. But if he were to give this sop to Wall Street that I am for a strong dollar, that might be quite a dramatic political move.
It might be great politics.
Suppose Obama said, I'm for a strong dollar. How would he answer the question if somebody simply came back to him with one word? How?
Don, they never answer the question.
I want John McCain to embrace a strong dollar policy, not only to get inflation down, but also for American prestige abroad.
How?
John McCain will hurt the dollar.
Don Luskin, thank you very much. Quentin Hardy, thank you very much. Jared Bernstein, Steve Moore, and Vince Farrell up next week.